I had just landed at Dulles International Airport in Washington, D.C. after a 10 hours flight from Gothenburg, Sweden. Never mind the jet lag, I was too excited about my important mission. At the age of 25, I was a technician at a large telecommunications company, and I was to launch my biggest challenge ever. I was one of those lucky guys who were assigned to accomplish a very big happening, to set up the first all-digital wireless communication call in the US. Between the vice president who was inside the White House and the mayor of Baltimore. The call was successful. It was broadcasted live on the Larry King Show, and we could not even imagine what was in front of us in terms of connectivity and development of wireless services. When all this happened in 1995, it was a true moment of change, something that really would change the way people connected. But the timing between the technology and the society were not in sync. The companies, they had great visions about all different services that they wanted us to start using. But we, the people, we were simply not ready. We did not understand all the technical benefits. In fact, it scared us. We had just figured out what SMS was, and some of us were trying to start using it to communicate with each other. It should take another 10 years before wireless data communication really became a success. Then we were ready to bring down internet to our small handsets, to set up video conference calls and go online shopping and so on. And then we got Skype and YouTube and Netflix and so on. It all changed very fast, and that is what my work is about. My work is about change. So the last decade or so, I've been leading some traditional change management projects as a change manager. But the last couple of years have been totally revolutionary when it comes to adapting new technology to our pre-existing habits. Our ways to manage change have totally changed. A few years ago, I got to work with a talented team of game developers, and a whole new world opened up in front of me. Today, I see game mechanics as the way to change our society. The power of games is that we get repeated feedback instantly while we are changing. Game mechanics enables us to be more present in the moment of change, or with other words, in the moment of development and growth. The game mechanics make it easier to embrace the necessary change to be our own. And as we all know, a change can only come if it comes from within. Think if we could use this way of leading change in the big perspective, when our governments plan for big changes, or imagine the power of change when we, the people, feel that the change is made by us and for us. That we are a part of the change. There is, of course, one other way of making big things happen. If you're extremely wealthy, you can buy change. Like if you're a country or so. Or at least for a while. While providing a specific product or a service, you can outnumber your competition, or you can stretch the laws in your favor. But in any other case, and in order to kickstart a change development, you have to make the person in front of you want to try something new. You have to make them feel that there is a really good point in changing my habits. You need to let them see what the change might lead to. Give them an experience of how it will feel when you have done something special in a new way. You have to let them understand the personal gain. Let the people feel the result of the change they still haven't explored. It's like getting excited over the birthday present you might get next year. So yes, he was absolutely right, Michael Jackson. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. I can guarantee people won't change just because I tell them to do so. Actually, people will change, or they won't change a bit if they don't see the personal gain in it. Luckily, I believe that this can be a non-problem if we just approach this a little bit smarter than we used to do. So I started up as a technician within IT, but I promise nowadays my technical skills, they are nothing compared to my children. My kids, who are 8 and 9 years old, they beat me every day in how I should use the iPhone or the tablet or even my own computer. It's amazing how fast they learn, especially when it comes to games. Suddenly they just do it, right? Dad, come on, try for yourself. It's not hard. So I think here's the heart of the matter. Our kids, they have something that we can learn from when it comes to change. They have the curiosity. They have the stamina to never give up until they have figured out how to accomplish a new level. They have absolutely no problem learning and adopting from the mistakes they are doing. And they have no problem in asking the so-called dumb questions or obvious questions just because they want to understand. They embrace and they actively seek the self-esteem by receiving rewards like more points or more stars or lives that games can give them. And they share and they compare with their friends. What result did you get? How did you do that? And last but not least, they get joy from what they do. What a powerful resource, the joy. These are all traits that we can use and exploit in game mechanics. Traits and mechanics that I know we can use for change in society. To go from A to B or to reach another level. Do it over and over again just because it's fun. Imagine the feeling in the conference room when launching the company's new strategy documents, and it takes place within an interactive game. Well, I think you see my point. This is game mechanics. The kids are born with them. It's how they develop. In fact, we all understand them, and we use them even when we are not aware of it, when we learn and adopt throughout our entire life. The game mechanics are already in our genes. We will always understand them, and therefore they are so powerful to use when you want to change something. So for anyone who ever wants to change the world, or at least a part of it, the way to do it is to use game mechanics in order to create a lust for change. I will give you 3 examples of how my company is doing it. So, climate change. This time the change is not for the better. So we'd better change our way of living here if we want to stay on this planet, right? We do try. We invent new laws, we sign climate agreements and so on, but it remains obvious to us that we must take a greater responsibility. We need to change. How? I'll take the transport sector as an example. Yes, I might logically understand that I need to change my way of traveling in order for us all to lower the emissions that we are producing. The problem is, and this is a very emotional insight, that many of us don't want to decrease our traveling. On the contrary, we want to travel more. We want to travel faster, more convenient, and we even want to pay less for our traveling, right? So we designed a game where you live your life in a virtual world. The game is like a digital cardboard game, like SimCity, if you know what that is. You live in a house or an apartment. You go to work or to school. You go shopping. You travel by car or by foot, by bus or by bicycle. You exercise and so on. The things we do in life, right? You also keep track of everything you do and how it is affecting the climate and how you build up your own climate footprint. You get tips and tricks from the game on how you can do small changes into your lifestyle, how you can earn footprint points to be used somewhere else, and how you can compete and compare with your friends, and comment and like each other's accomplishments in the game. The players push each other forward. At the end, the player with the happiest character and the lowest climate footprint wins the game. So the players, they get a deeper understanding on how our lifestyle in real life matters for the climate, and they can tell and they can influence others. And the game is today being used in school, teaching young students how they can contribute to a better climate. I will give you my second example, how we use game mechanics in healthcare. You get a knee injury or you get a stroke. To come back to a normal life, you have a long rehab in front of you. It will be a challenge for your character. You will have to go to your physiotherapist and you will have to do all the exercises, day after day. It might take months before you can see or even feel any change, right? Not much fun in that. But if you get to play a game instead, that teaches you to do the exercises while accomplishing something else, it will be a lot easier. So we made a game based on a Kinect sensor and a game world where you perform all the exercises. So how does it work? So I stand in front of a screen connected to a computer and a Kinect sensor. When I move my body, there is a character on the screen that is doing exactly the same moves as I am doing. So my task can be to bend down and pick some flowers, or stretch myself high up and grab an apple from a tree, or to sit down rowing a boat. I immediately see if I actually reach the apple in the tree. I can see my hand trying to reach for the fruit. No one else keeps telling me to stretch a bit further. Come on, some more. Go, up. In this way, I see for myself when I'm ready and done. I'm just happy if I can reach the apple. Again, there's a joy in the game. I have a clear goal and I can follow my own progress very specifically. And this, in fact, makes me try even harder compared to a practice where it's just about me pushing my hands up in the air. Not for any particular reason than for my physiotherapist to say, great, now you're done, you can go home. In the beginning, it's difficult, but after some practice, I get better and better, and I can unlock new levels. Meanwhile, my rehab is following a plan that my physiotherapist has set up. And the best thing is that you can do the exercises at home, in your own living room. The physiotherapist back at the hospital can follow your exercise and get the results from your exercise, and he or she can even follow you on a video link. That's one way of making rehab more fun and more effective. Other ideas we are working on are related to brain damage. Many patients that have got the brain damage get impaired vision. By training your eye movement, you can actually help the brain to repair damaged cells. And then you get a better vision and less problems caused by the brain damage. So we designed a game that you can control with your eyes. You steer a vehicle on the screen, and if you lose focus on the vehicle, it will drop its load. Or you focus on balloons on the screen, and they inflate, and after a while you pop them. And at the same time you are training your eyes. My last example of how game mechanics can be used to change the world is what we call fun learning in school. Kids are natural talents when it comes to games and play. We know that. We made a virtual world with funny characters that needs different kinds of help. At the same time, while you are helping the characters, you learn mathematics as it is stated in the school curriculum. Kids that before had great difficulties in learning in the traditional way, they perform with fantastic results. The game comes in different levels, following the kids from preschool age up until high school. So as an example, you help the storekeeper to run the store. You perform tasks like organizing goods in the shelves, feeding the animals, or charge the customers at the cashier. All at the same time while solving mathematical problems. The better you get, the more fun and more difficult tasks you get. And the educators, they express that they manage to get all children to increase their learning, in particular the ones that have difficulties in following the traditional teaching. And the children with difficulties in concentrating, they can vanish into an own space, into a new world, and focus on the fun tasks to help out in the store. Mathematical tasks that before were impossible are now solved in a blink. And the kids become proud over themselves and what they have learned. Instead of traditional homework, like finishing 5 pages in the math book until Thursday, you get to play a new level in the game instead. So, there's so much joy in helping children with normally low performance to shine and be brilliant. 20 years ago, a very special and totally game-changing phone call took place right in front of me. Now, a whole new world lies in front of us. A world where we can all play a part in the greater change. We have the technology, we have the devices, we have the insights, and we have, as we have always had, our inner game mechanics, our curiosity, our strive for progress, feedback, transparency, competition, leveling, cooperation, awards and rewards, and so on. That's why I believe we are ready now. Embrace the importance of having fun. Let fun lead you. Let your curiosity show the way. Think games when you want to change something. Time to let the game begin. Thank you for listening.